Well, welcome back to the Tasin course here, just outside of Ljubljana, the capital of Slovenia, for the finale to the ICF Canoe World Cup meet. Finally, international kayak and canoeing returning after the COVID lockdown. And a tough course, 22 gates in total, and a strong cast of 10 taking on the chance to find a place on the podium. Certainly there's local interest with two Slovenians in the field. Soon we'll find out how they will get on. Here is the start list. Victoria Dobrotvorska going out first, but eyes certainly on a few of the big names in the field. Again, I'm joined by Bertrand Gutierrez. Good to be back with you. How do you see this final progressing?
I think it's going to be impressive. During this final, there is a lot of good paddlers, young paddlers. They can paddling very fast. So let's see what's happened. The course, there is 22 gates on this course with 6 upstream.
Well, first up, Victoria Dobrotvorska of Ukraine. The best finish was a podium spot in 2015, 5 years on. Can she attempt to find a way on to a top 3 spot? It's going to be a big ask. She was the slowest in qualifying, plus 7.92 seconds slower than the fastest, the young French Delassou, but now underway.
Here we go. She's heading number 1 right now. Everything is reset on this final, so everything is possible right now for her. She's a bit low on this first up on the right. She didn't catch enough the curl on the left. She decided to doing spin on this gate. She's high enough on this up on the left. She have already plus 2 seconds of penalty.
A huge opportunity for her to be in a final at senior level for the first time since June last year in the World Cup 2 meet in Bratislava, when she managed an 8th place finish.
She's a bit low on this gate. She decided to paddle back. So she lost a lot of time on this gate number 13. It's a important gate for the final result, number 13.
We've certainly seen 13 be a tough one for the paddlers to make a lucky number. But it's Dobrotvorska who's going to set the time for the rest of the field.
She have a second touch on number 18. It's gonna be complicated to have a medal today.
Well, for the moment, she will be the top ranked in the field, but her reaction tells its own story, as does her time. The Ukrainian not looking overly pleased. For the moment, though, she is in pole position. Well, hopefully pointing the way to victory as they talk tactics But it's France's red-hot Margot Henry trying to keep cool. Not too difficult, although the sun does seem to have poked its head out here in Tassin. But it's the 23-year-old French paddler to now take on the course.
Yeah, she's heading to the first up. The line is okay at the moment. She's not taking a lot of risk, but she's still in the middle of the gates. She decided to go direct on this gate on the right. Up on the left, it's okay. 1 second, 0.6, a little bit faster.
Well, she is an athlete who has often performed best in the team or mixed events. A gold medalist at the 2017 World Championships in Pau, alongside Yves Prigent. But now taking it in a World Cup final all alone.
She have already +2 seconds of penalty, but she's 4 seconds above at the moment.
One of 3 French women in this final, and looking to set a marker for hopefully more success for Les Bleus. Gold and silver in the women's K1 final, both to the Prigent cousins. And for the moment, it will be Margot Henry to replace the short time leader, Dobrot-Vorska. But whether she'll be in contention for a medal, with the field still to come, it's going to be a tough ask. So Margot Henry, 3 times on a podium at World Cups in 2018, but all in the mixed C2. Wait to see if she has a chance here as Michaela Corcoran, the 18-year-old, her best finish 2019 World Championships, 14th. Comes from a well-established paddling family. Her father, Mike Corcoran, was a 2-time Olympic paddler. He himself had a silver medal way back in 1993 in a World Cup event. It may be beyond his young teenage daughter to find a podium place here, but she's done brilliantly, Bertrand, to be in this final.
Yeah, she's a young paddler, but the first part she's doing okay. I think she's gonna be a little bit above. 2.2 seconds. Faster than Margot at the moment.
Already Michaela having the bragging rights in the Corcoran family. Her twin sister Madeline failing to meet the K1 final.
Just missed the gate. She tried to paddle back hard. Yeah, so she don't have +50, she have +2 seconds of penalty because she did paddle back, but it's gonna be hard to have a medal.
But experience, obviously a huge part of the experience here with the reduced international field. So a great opportunity to test herself at a World Cup final level. But it's really been tough since she had to put so much into avoiding the 50-point penalty for a missed gate.
Yeah, she's still young. She have time to improve.
Well, Michaela Corcoran, a bronze medalist in C1 at the 2019 Lima Pan American Games. She won't be threatening the medals here. An excellent experience for the young American paddler. So at the moment, the podium topped by France's Henri, Dobrov-Vorska and Corcoran, but we're likely to see a lot of movement on that podium. Seen plenty of movement from Alja Kozorog. Certainly got her dance moves sorted. We saw some tap dancing during the semi-finals from one of our judges. But now it's the serious business of a World Cup final. A silver medalist at the recent European Championships in Prague, but that was in the C1 team event. She failed to make the final.
First part is beautiful. She stay on the top of the water, keep a really good speed on this first up.
Well, Slovenian home hopes very much with their two athletes, Kozorog and later on Novak.
Just touch gate number 8 with her nose on the boat.
She really slammed through number 11 as the penalties clock up.
She have a lot of penalties on this second section. Plus 6 seconds right now.
Must be very tough when they just seem to come one after the other to try and keep your focus.
Yeah.
Well, battling on her home watercourse, Tassin, 3-time World Championship venue. Tells you all you need to know about how famous and yet infamously difficult the challenge is here, and certainly a challenge too great.
Yeah, she's first at the moment with plus 6 seconds of penalties, so she was quite fast.
So excellent for this early stage, but with the rest of the field to come, unlikely to be enough. But for the moment, Kozorog tops the podium after the first 4 runs. So coming up to the halfway stage of this 10-strong women's C1 final from Ljubljana. And up next, another French hope. And it's Lucie Priot, the World 18. Had a superb European Championships in Prague with bronze medal in C1 and the C1 team event. And also a bronze medal at the Rio World Championships in 2018 in the C1 team event. She was in fact a junior world champion in this C1 event back in 2014. So certainly there must be high hopes for what she can achieve.
Yeah, she's a good paddler. She's still young. She's a hope for
a very strong French team.
So she can go really fast, and at the moment she is with 1 second.2 faster. Yeah, she's doing great at the moment. Let's see the second part. It's tricky part. number 13.
Kozorog leading out Henri, but at the moment it does look like bronze medalist from Prague will look to get ahead of her compatriot and the home paddler Kozorog.
10 seconds, she's doing great on this first half part on the course. Yeah, she stayed a little bit stuck on this hole.
Really having to stretch.
But she have a penalty right now. She lost a bit of time on the...
Really flying through the final and comfortably ranked number 1, but after a superb run, maybe just lost a little bit in that last bit if she's trying to be in the medal positions.
It's too bad. She did a really good run except the last part. But it's maybe enough for the medal.
Well, Priaulx, a medalist at World and European Championships, now looking for a medal at World Cup level. She'll have a nervous wait with 5 top paddlers still to take to the Tassen water. Well, just getting a quick little bite in. A little giggle. As you see, plenty of masks in this COVID hit times, but thankfully back in international competition. And so far, the first 5 have attacked the course. Some talent shown, but also the challenges that face the final 5. But some of the best in the world will be looking for medal joy come the finish.
Well, Lucy, here we are, halfway. You're leading. How did you feel your run was?
I feel I made really good start for the first gate, and I was feeling good on the water, like when you are light and speed. But I made mistake on the down, so I know I lose time because the last 2 upstream and I have a touch to the 19.
Yeah.
So I think it maybe cuts the medals or the podium. I don't know.
But it's a bit tricky today. Lots of people are making mistakes today.
Maybe.
Well, 5 more to go. Keep your fingers crossed.
Thank you very much.
A nervous wait as the final 5 of the final will go, but Lucy Priaulx, it's her in pole position ahead of Kozorog of Slovenia and her fellow French woman Henri, but it's Evie Livvath, the 16-year-old sensation, and she's certainly a big favourite of Tassen. Talked about how much she loves the course here. She's already twice been a bronze medalist in World Cup events, in C1 in 2019 and in the K1 yesterday. So she, Shirley Bertrand, is one who will be looking for a podium finish.
Yes, for sure. She's only 16 years old. She do C1 in K1. She's really impressive, and she's doing great at the moment. I think she will be a little bit below, but still in game.
Time to make up. The reigning Pan American Games K1 champion
This tricky part it's really important for the rest. She decided to doing spin on the left on 13. She lose a little bit of time on this first half part, but 4.6 seconds. But the next part is important for the rest and for the result.
Well, she's certainly given herself a heavy workload here in Tassen with the K1 and C1. Maybe a little bit of fatigue, but not quite as dynamic as we've seen her.
She's doing great on she's a little bit low right now.
Priaulx looking on nervously as the clock ticks on.
She will be a little bit behind second place.
Well, we heard in the interview, Priaulx wasn't looking confident about the podium, but as the interviewer said, people are making mistakes, and that was maybe a run that Ljubljana will be disappointed with. She currently sits in second place. It's very difficult to tell how this final will go, but certainly with the European champion amongst the 4 final competitors, we'll see if it's enough for the American teenager to try and grab herself a second medal of this Tassen World Cup event. So how have you enjoyed the final so far, Bertrand?
Yeah, there is some good level at the moment. Good paddling. But let's see. The next is going to be more impressive normally with Anna Sadila.
Third in the world, an under-23 world champion. Now looking to really make a splash at the top of the senior paddling world. Can she celebrate the return of competitive canoeing with gold here in the C1 women's final?
First section, it's okay. She decided to spin on this gate, and she's early on the too early apparently. She's a little bit tight, and she touched it.
Well, a 9-time World Cup medalist, although her only 2 golds have come in the Extreme K1 back in 2018. One of those won on home water in Rio. But her last medal at C1 was back in Bratislava in June last year. Still battling for podium here in Slovenia.
She's spin gate 30 and she hit the rock, hit the bank. She's a little bit late right now, 4 seconds behind, with +2 of penalty.
Well, the reigning C1 Pan American Games champion still battling away.
She's fast on the last part at the moment. Let's see the last up. She's tight.
We saw Ljubljana be a lot further away, so she'll certainly picked up some time there.
Yeah, I think she will lead. Yes, 1 second, 0.7.
Well, it's all smiles. Still maybe disappointment. She maybe hoped to put a little bit more pressure on the paddlers to come.
She did some mistake on the first half of the course, but she was very fast on the second part, so she lead at the moment.
So it is the 2-time Olympian from Brazil, Satila, who leads the way. Priaulx of France holding provisionally the silver, with Evie Ljubljana hoping to cling on for a second bronze of the weekend. Well, Satila with a bronze at the World Championships 2017 in Pau, and beginning of November it'll be the second World Cup event in France, so hopefully we'll see a lot of these competitors back on French water, but here, just outside Ljubljana in Slovenia, is Leah Novak, who is the home hope after Kozorog, currently sitting 4th in the standings. Novak underway in her final
She's
performance.
the local of the course, and she's doing great at the moment. The first section is not the hardest of the course.
So just a chance to get yourself into a rhythm.
Yeah, exactly. Just a chance to be a little bit confident, but she is, because she is a little bit above. Oh, she stays stuck a little bit on this hole.
Well, just as we saw, the split time looking good, 0.11 seconds ahead, but she managed to keep her cool.
She's a bit late.
And as you
She'll
foresaw, the difficulty coming after that opening section.
She lost a little bit her balance, and the current pushed her.
It shows how quickly it can change from 0.11 up to plus 6.19 down. And suddenly the whole emotions of the race looking to get the better of Novak. Another foul on 18.
Yes, she's a little bit slow on the second half part if you compare than Anna Satila. So it's going to be behind.
A little sip of
sure.
water for
11
Satila,
second.
comfortably remaining the leader. Ranked 6th there for Novak. After a comfortable start, it really just fell apart. Well, really hotting up here, not just because the sun's poked its nose out. So far, Satila, the woman to beat, as Evie Leifvarth looks pretty happy. Currently in the bronze medal position, but with 2 top paddlers to come, will she be able to hold on with Prio and Satila, who currently have the podium in their pockets? So it's the European champion Gabriela Satkova, the 18-year-old, going second from last. Can she add C1 World Cup gold to an ever-increasing medal haul? Also a silver medalist in C1 team at the Rio World Championships. And she also took that gold in the European Championship. Double delight. Do you expect her to be the one to really threaten Satila, Bertrand?
Yeah, for sure. She's flying the first part of the moment, and she have 1 second, 0.3. She's faster a little bit than Satila, and she keep a really good line on this up on the right with a good exit. Let's see this tricky part.
Well, this is where the medals could be won and lost.
It's really, she lose a lot of time on this gate. 13. This gate 13, it's trouble for the paddlers.
She
today.
looked like she was focusing on not getting the penalty and hoping then she could make up the time.
Yes, she stayed focused about don't touch the gate, but she lost more than 2 seconds.
And now lost more than 2 seconds and then clattering in to the upstream gate. And it is proving the difficulty here on an top class.
Yeah, it's going to be
Tassen.
not enough today, but she tried.
Well, it was gold in Prague, but there won't be a medal here in the C1 World Cup final in Slovenia. And it is Satila still remaining on camera as our provisional leader. And once again, just as it had been for Novak before her, a fabulous, strong start. But once she got stuck trying to avoid a 2-second penalty, it then just really collapsed around her ears. Still 18 years of age.
Yeah, she's still very impressive about the result she did.
The water can be cruel, I guess.
Yes.
Well, the youth, potentially paddlers of the future, enjoying a lovely Sunday afternoon here in Tassen. And certainly nice to see some fans, friends and family, able to attend, although not in the numbers that we would love to see. But here is Marjorie Delasseux, a 22-year-old French athlete.
Here she is. She will represent France at the next Olympic Games.
She certainly said herself that the postponement of the Games 2020 helped her. She didn't feel prepared for the March qualification, and she's certainly taken full advantage of the unfortunate situation that meant the Olympic Games had to be postponed till 2021.
And she have a good speed at the moment. She lose a bit time on this exit, but still a good time at the moment.
But as we know, this is when the hard work really starts. She's the last to go, the only one that can deny Satila C1 World Cup gold.
Everybody's in trouble with 13, 12 and 13. It's quite hard and tricky. So she lost a bit of time. She has 2 seconds. And she's a little bit behind.
It's very tight. She still has time though.
Yeah.
On her side.
Nothing gets finished. Let's see the last part.
Well, we saw in the K1 a 1-2 for France.
And she touched again on 18. It's going to be hard for her.
Satila looking comfortable in gold. Delasseux not giving up just yet, but as we can see, it's not going to be her day. And it is the current leader who is the official winner. Delasseux plops in the water just off the podium. And it's Satila, the Brazilian, in gold. Well, the mask may hide it, but clear, the huge smile. Well, Brazil had a golden moment in the extreme K1 event with Pepe Gonçalves. And now it's C1 women's gold for Satila. Rieux of France with silver, and Lebfarth holding on for a second bronze of the weekend for the 16-year-old. Delasseux just not able to hold it together as she misses out on a medal.
I'm here with a very happy winner today, and I know you were so disappointed after yesterday with the K1. Today's a really different run for you.
Well, I'm so happy with the result finally, not so happy with my run. I know I could do so much better than that, and I had so much trouble to recover from yesterday. I was doing really good running K1 and I went with everything, and finally I did that stupid mistake in the end, but I think that's the best athlete part, to overcome everything and to put your best in the race, and today it happens well for me, so I'm so happy.
And I think your first ever medal here at Tucson, so this is a tricky course and you've always had a little bit of trouble with this course.
Sure, I mean it's not so easy and I had so much trouble with the balance and everything, but I try to stay focused all the time with me, my boat, the posture, and try to do my best during all the runs, and I'm really happy with everything I did here.
Congratulations, Anna. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Well, as mentioned, disappointment in the K1 final, a missed gate ending her hopes of a medal and a potential gold, but she's finished with a golden flourish in the women's canoe final. Lucy Priot in silver with Evie Ledfarth making it double bronze in her weekend here in Tassen. Well, a stunning women's final. It's Brazilian brilliance from Satila to take the gold. We'll return later for the men's final. Do join us for that, coming up very shortly. But for now, it's Satila. Sensational win here in the World Cup in Tassen. So we saw the women's final, certainly plenty of drama, and a course that's really testing the mental and physical. Now it's the men's turn, as we see there, Klevlev, the Russian, waiting patiently. He'll go second after Jules Bernardet. But certainly plenty of focus on the Slovenian pair of Luka Bozic and Benjamin Savsek, the European champion. But it's Nicolas Gestin of France who was the quickest in the semis. But as we've said plenty of times, the final is a complete reset. And it's most important how they focus ahead of this final. As you see, the penalty statistics, certainly 19 particular problem for the men. And missed gates all over the shop, with Trent Long, the veteran American, one to have suffered such a fate. So Bertrand, you excited ahead of this men's final? Who are the main focus for you in a battle for the podium?
There is a lot of talented kayakers on this final. I think about Jules Bernardet from Pontarlier in France. And the other French, Bobon, is really good. The Czech are very, very, very good as well. And Nicolas Gestin from France, he did a really good run during the semi-final. But let's see the experience of Savsek from Slovenia.
Yeah, certainly the battle between Slovenian teammates Luka Bosic and Benjamin Savsek is a secondary storyline on this intriguing Sunday finale. Both jostling for just one available ticket to Tokyo next year. So every race seen as a vital test for them, and not much higher than a return of the World Cup scene. But that battle to come. Up first, Jules Bernardet, 7th in the World Championships in 2018. The 20-year-old looking eager to get started.
Here he comes, Jules Bernardet from France. He's a really talented paddler, and he's flying on the water right now.
Is it a bird, is it a plane, or is it Jules Bernardet? He'll be hoping to be putting in a superhuman effort as he battles to try and...
He's really on fire at the moment. He won one race during the selection, the French selection, 2 weeks ago.
Certainly in a very, very top-class field in the French qualification for Olympics.
Yes, he lost a little bit of time on 13, but it's only the mistake I can see. We are with Jules Bernardet from France.
Just struggling to poke his way past the rock, but so far it's a clean run.
He's doing a good run at the moment. Let's see the last up. He's tied. The exit is pretty good. Yeah, that is beautiful.
Now the seal of approval from Bernard as Jules Bernardet, 80.24. He won't know whether that's enough for a medal, but certainly a clean run. And he can certainly be happy, the 20-year-old, with opening this men's C1 final with a fine effort. Real lovely Sunday afternoon here in Tassin, plenty of smiles. Obviously missing a host of international stars who weren't able to feel the love of Slovenia, but still a top-class field to round off a wonderful return of international canoeing. And it's Anvar Klelev, a 24-year-old Russian, 210 in the world, but taking his opportunity while others have been unable to make it here to Tassin. And can he produce a shock? It certainly would be one if he was to get anywhere near the podium. So underway for the 24-year-old Russian.
He's heading to gate number 4 right now. The first part, it's okay. The current did push him a little bit, so he was a little bit unstable. He lost a bit of balance, and he have also one penalty. Plus 2 seconds.
Well, already a big challenge after what looked like a serene ride from Bernardet, but this attempt may be showing even more how well the Frenchman rode.
Yeah, he's late for sure, with plus 4 seconds of penalty. Second part is not too bad, but it's going to be not enough for sure for the final.
I think unless he has some ability to teleport to the finishing line, it wouldn't be enough. Ranked second at the moment, but with plus 9.17 on Bernardet's run, it's certainly a World Cup final experience for Klevlev, but never very likely to find the podium. Second for now, but with 8 paddlers still to come in this men's C1 final.
Best time at the moment is Jules Bernardet with 80.2 seconds.
But will it be enough? How quick do you think that time looks?
I'm not sure, you know. The time during the semi-final was 78, so around 78, so could be really faster, or it depends because the kayakers are a little bit more pressure.
Well, as we saw in the women's final, mistakes always hovering in the background can change the complexion of the final standings. The deep intake of breath for 20-year-old Czech Wojtek Egger. Recently winning the men's C1 under 23 European gold. So certainly excellent pedigree, but this at the senior level, a step up for sure here in Tassen.
Yeah, the first wave did take him a little bit. He lost a bit of time on this first up. So he's a bit late on this first part, but let's see the next sections. Just touch with the nose of his boat, and he's a little bit late on this, on 13, 14 and 15, so plus 6 seconds behind at this stage. Last part, it's okay. He decided to switch for the last up on the left. The second section was good, but it's gonna be for sure not enough. Plus 5 seconds.
Well, a slap of the boat tells its own story. He is into second place, provisional silver medal, but certainly was nowhere near threatening the quickest time so far of the three, I should say, as Bernadette remains in a comfortable first place, but that very likely to come under threat very, very soon. So exciting time for Jura Lenarčić on his home water, ranked 30. 7th place, his best finish at senior level. And he'll see what he can achieve in this men's C1 World Cup final. So underway, a gold medalist at the European Championships, although that came in the C1 team event. Now looking to make the most of a chance to actually be in a World Cup final, having only previously managed to make it to a semi-final spot.
And he's at home. He knows very well the course. It's an advantage sometimes. Oh, he lost a little bit his balance on this gate, on this hole. Let's see, number 13.
Well, he did manage to compete at Tassen in 2018's World Cup 4, but 4th place in semi-final 1, not enough for a final spot. He's not quite in a position to attack the podium with the other top-class paddlers to come.
It was a little bit, it just rolled.
Well, it's not extreme K1, but nothing wrong with a neat little spin. And certainly did better than Lockin, as we saw in the semi-finals. Managed to keep himself afloat, but clearly the time is now very much of the essence.
Yeah, it's really hard. Well, like I said before, it's really hard when you are tired to keep the control of your boat.
I guess the mental as well as the physical fatigue playing its part.
Yeah, for sure.
So Jure Lenarčić, frustrating. It can be a benefit being at home, but it can also be its own pressure, as we see a very positive looking Bernardet. But the nerves surely will start to really tick along as we get into the top tier of this men's final. In the end, Lenarčić unable to get himself on an early podium spot. Bernardet leads, Eger of the Czech Republic and Klevlev of Russia for the moment hold the provisional top 3 places. So a nice spot to take in whitewater canoeing. Looks pretty serene with his Slovenian flag flying high. It's a nice spot to enjoy this finale of the World Cup weekend. Matija Marinic, the Croatian, taking to the water. The paddler from Zagreb, looking to make an impression.
Yeah, I think the first part, it's a little bit slow at the moment. Still in the game. Let's see this tricky part on 13. It's making okay. Keep a good speed on these 2 gates. With a good up on the left, a little bit behind, but still alright. Let's see the second section.
We can certainly see what a great opportunity this is for some of the paddlers. A first ever final at senior level for the Croat.
Yeah, lost a little bit of time on this 3 gate, but still alright. I don't know if it's gonna be enough, I'm not sure.
Well, it's certainly too slow for gold, but it's enough for second place. Matija Marinic, a first senior final, and certainly may have not been perfect, but he can't really complain with a provisional second place.
Yeah, Jules was really fast on the second section, so he did only 1 small mistake on 13, so it's gonna be hard to go faster than him today, but it's possible because to remind you, the time during the semi-final was 78.
He was the first man on the course. He still leads. Jules, how was your run?
I'm good run. I'm little happy in my race.
What was the course like? Is the course hard today or easy?
Pretty hard.
How do you feel? Confident? You happy that you can still, with 5 more to go, get a medal?
Confident. Yes.
Good. Good. Well, fingers crossed. Good luck.
Yes. Thank you.
So a very happy, if hesitant, Frenchman, knowing that with the second half of the men's final to come, his place is certainly going to be under risk. But I was going to say, Bertrand, we saw Marinic go the previous time in his first ever final. How easy is it to have a career in kayaking and canoeing if you're not making finals? It must be a very expensive career.
Yeah, it depends where are you from. You know, some nation, they pay for you, but for some you have to pay everything. So depend where you are from, you know.
And obviously
so
success breeds sponsorship or other help you might get. So if you can't break through that level, there must be paddlers who can't sustain a career.
Yeah. So for some nation it's really hard, and when you perform, it's really impressive for some, you know, because it's more difficult. but I'm happy today to see a lot of different nations, and it's good for the kayaking world.
We're certainly seeing that with the fantastic response to the Rio Games, with Brazil showing up brilliantly this weekend and across the sport, and it'll be interesting to see what impact Tokyo 2021 hopefully will have, and an exciting year, because one consequence is that we'll have the World Championships and the Olympic Games in the same year.
Yeah, it's a special year with the coronavirus, but it's a special year for everybody, actually.
Certainly dealing with the difficult times, can still bring success, and it's Jules Bernardet who's the man to beat, the time to beat, 80.24. But as Bernard said, it's around 78, could be a time expected of these top class paddlers to come. So Bernardet with a nervous wait on the sidelines as his countryman gets his bid underway. Alexis Bobin of France.
The next French, and he started a little bit too much, with too much aggressivity, so he lost a little bit of balance, so he lost a lot of time on this first section. It's gonna be hard for him to catching up the time.
Well, he was the 5th quickest in the semi-final, but as Bertrand suggests, struggling in this early section, and it's not getting any easier.
Yeah, it's hard, like I said before, it's really hard for your mental to keep the goal in and have a good pressure.
And especially, I guess, that feeling of knowing you're down on the time, how you try desperately to try and pick up some seconds.
Yes, and you have to try to stay under pressure, but sometimes it's pretty hard, especially when you do a mistake at the top section. So he missed a little bit his final, but he take an experience today. That's a pretty good things for him.
Well, no worries from Bernardet for his fallen compatriot in terms of the podium, happily remaining ranked number 1 and still in with a chance of a glorious gold here in Ljubljana on the Tassen course. So the final certainly heating up as we get towards the final 4 competitors, including the European champion from Slovenia, Savsek, also battling with his compatriot Bosic. France with still something to say, with Bernardet leading and Gestan the final to go out, but before all that, it's Lucas Rohan of the Czech Republic. He sees his compatriot Eger currently in bronze position. Can he nudge his teammate, the national team, to try and get himself some of that glory?
Yeah, he's a serious paddler, but he already touched gate number 3. So you have to keep his goal in mind.
Maybe a little too eager to make an impression early on.
Push a little. Ah, the second mistake on gate number 10.
Well, the silver medalist from the men's European final, beaten out by Benjamin Savsek. But it's looking very, very tough for him to be anywhere near a medal here in Ljubljana.
Yeah, I think he missed a little bit the first part. He tried to take a maximum of risk, but sometimes when you take too much risk, you lose too much time.
Well, sometimes, if you're betting on blackjack, sometimes you end up with no money left, and he's certainly looking bankrupt here, missing gate 19. And it is a tough day on the water for Lucas Roan, silver European medalist, but certainly a run to forget. Well, a penalty review, but in all honesty, it's not going to make any difference to Roan, who sits 7 after 7. And even if the penalty is not confirmed, it's not going to make a spot of difference. So disappointment for the European silver medalist. There's not going to be a fight-off as there was in Prague with Sevsek. And the penalty confirmed there, just an added blow to a painful ride. So 58 in the end, the penalty count, plus 65.81, down on Bernadet's time of 80.24. Can someone go sub 80 and snatch the gold from his Gallic hands? Well, the first of the two big home hopes, Luka Bozic, 2018 World Cup final gold medalist. Can he repeat that feat here on home water? That gold in the C1 came at Le Saut d'Argel in Spain on the Parc Olympique del Segre. Say back in September 2018, over 2 years later, after 3 podium finishes in 2019. Can he find himself a way to top spot?
Yeah, this guy is really talented. He have experience as well, and he's at home, so he have everything to be confident and to flying on the water. And he's doing well at the moment. Let's see, gate number 13. That was fast, tight.
He's a 13-time medalist at World and European Championships. Most recently, that bronze in the C1 World Final in 2019.
1.2 seconds faster than Jules Bernardet.
Bernardet beginning to sweat as Bozic turns up the heat in this men's C1 final.
Let's see. I think he's fast. He's gonna be lead with a time
well,
of
it's sub
78.
80 seconds, but bashes it. The time of Bernardet. You said at the beginning that 78 seconds was around the time you'd expect for certainly a medal, potentially gold, and Bozic has really laid down a marker for the final 2 paddlers. Stunning from the Sloven.
Two serious paddler left.
What's your feeling? Is there going to be more French glory, or are the Slovens going to take the home?
Both are really good, you know. Savsek have a lot of experience. He's at home and he's a really talented paddler. Nicolas Gestin from France can go really fast as well. A young paddler.
Will experience maybe make the difference? I guess it just depends how they react on the water.
Yeah, sure.
Well, we'll get one half of the answer to those questions. Ranked World 7 in the world, 2017 World Champion and reigning European champion from this year. And he's just seen his rival, not just in the Slovenian team, but also in a battle for a place at Tokyo 2021. Benjamin Savsek, the 33-year-old, took gold in Tallinn in the C1 World Cup event. That was back in 2016 though, and also managing it in 2014, so he's looking for a trio of golds here. 3 years since his last gold in a C1 World Cup event, but when you see his form from World and European Championships, looks like the man to beat.
First part was pretty fast. Let's see this important section, and he's doing great. The experience is talking.
Oh, and he's just shy, 0.1 from his compatriot. It's going to go right to the wire if he can keep himself in control.
He's still a little bit stuck on this hole, and he touched as well.
It's looking tough now for the European champion and former world champion in 2017.
And because of the small mistake on the hole,
and it's not even going to be a podium spot for Benjamin Savsek, and the reaction tells its own story. And his rival and friend Bosic, who is the man to beat at 78.17. The pressure cooker turned up to full heat. And Bernadette, though, remaining second, with Croatian Marincic, who's never been at a senior final, sees himself with a chance of an incredible bronze. But with one paddler to go, but it's Savsek who is in 5th place. No medal for the highly decorated former world and reigning European champion.
So Jules Bernardet is going to have a medal right now. Which color, we don't know yet.
Well, it's certainly been a successful weekend of canoeing for France. And as Bernadette says, Bernadette with a medal in his pocket, as does Bosic. But it's now just a question of what colour and weight awaits them, because just one paddler to come. Nicolas Gestin is the man with fate in his hands. Can he grab his destiny? An under-23 world champion looking for a little taste of World Cup success.
Here he comes. He's heading to gate number 1. He's a young paddler from France. He can go really fast. A bit low on this first up, but he didn't lose a lot of time.
Well, it was a huge year last year for the 20-year-old at the European and World Championships. Was the gold medal winner in C1. So he certainly pointed to a successful senior career, but now it's about trying to confirm his position as the fastest in the field from the semi-final.
His boat stay really flat, and he lose a little bit of time on 13. He will be a little bit behind on the second section, plus 2 seconds.
Well, it's certainly not quick enough yet to threaten Bosic, but may yet be enough for a podium spot, which would mean a potential 2-3 for France.
Yes, really good part here. Last part, he's fighting for the medal right now.
We see with the final split time how close he might be.
Really good last section.
There's a great opportunity. Oh, he's just edged out.
Second place.
Well, it wasn't enough to unseat the home hope, Bosic, but it's still a tremendous result for Gestin. And he will join his compatriot on the podium. But as Bernard said, 20 years old, an under-23 world and European champion, making a splash at the senior level. So double delight for France, but it's gold for Slovenia. It's been a tough weekend for the host nation, but they finished it with aplomb as Bosic takes the gold.
Well, Luka Bosic, congratulations on your win. I believe your first time you've won here in Tuxton.
Yes, I think this is the first time. I have some great runs before, but this one was really good. I didn't feel good on the start, but then I was attacking, so I'm really happy for this run today.
This year has been so hard for everybody, but so to come out now and to win at a World Cup, even though there are other athletes not here, but still you win, it must be a good result to the end of the year.
Yeah, the race is the race. So I was preparing for today, like for every race, and I think, like I said, it's good to have so good run on the end of the year, on the end of the season. So this is really good.
Well, congratulations, Luka. We'll see you in Po.
I don't think so. I think it is time to rest now and prepare for the Olympic season.
Yeah, for Olympic selection, which is still happening for you, yes?
Yeah, we have selection races here in April, and then the last one, European Championship in Ivrea.
Okay, well, good luck. It's a nice way to head into that with a win here today, so congratulations.
Thank you.
So as mentioned, still no certainty of whether it'll be Bosic, Savsek or another Slovenian to take the coveted Olympic spot. But Bosic certainly bossing it in Tassen here, taking gold ahead of the French pairing of Gestin and Bernardet. Fantastic weekend as canoeing returned to the water. Bosic might not be in Po the beginning of November. We certainly will. Hope you'll join us for that. But from myself and Bernard, thanks for joining us. It's been a terrific weekend. And for now, it's goodbye.